Are we recording? I think we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Axem Rangers X Behind the Scenes. Now, I normally do not do this, but because my friend SMG4 did his video on how he makes his SMG4 episodes, I thought, you know what, by the time this video is going to come out, the episode's already going to be finished, so might as well get it over with. So what I'm going to be doing in today's episode is I'm going to be doing a scene from one of the movies that I'm currently working on. I'm not telling you exactly what the movie is. You're going to have to find out from the movie itself. But basically, it's the last movie of Game of Chess Part 3. And yes, it is the final conclusion of Axem Rangers X Season 21 as well as the entire series. Good to see some closure for that story. So, right now, just to give you all a heads up, I already finished three parts, and now I'm actually at the last scene before the end of part 4. And so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be replicating the scene of Lord Vindok emerges from deep sleep and confronts the heroes. So basically this is going to be kind of like more talking rather than action. And then once we leave the area, then we're going to start seeing some action. So first things first, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna search for a few characters actually. First of all, let me pull up my menu and see if I have everything. Okay, so I have the new character in, good. I have the comp. And for those of you that don't know, I work with comps in Axem Rangers X, so if, for example, I don't want to start using Rangers one at a time, you know, frame by frame by frame, I could just create a comp using a blank paint file, take that as a full animation, and then just Control C, and then I can just paste it into the actual video. Now, right now, as you're seeing, it doesn't look so good because obviously there's 2 Red Rangers, 2 Void Rangers, and the scene doesn't make any sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a brand new scene, because now we just finished one scene and now we're going to transition to the next. So the next scene we're going to be doing is called the Mirror Kingdom of Hell. And for that, I got 3ds Max open. Now normally I would never use 3ds Max or Lightwave 3D to make animations for Axem Rangers X. I would normally do this for either personal work or demo reels, which I actually have a demo reel at the moment in which I am currently rendering a few vehicles for a company that wants a vehicle artist. So that render right now is running in the background. So as I'm doing that, I'm going to be using 3ds Max to do a few renders for the Axem Rangers X series. As I said, I don't do this. I don't usually do this. However, I will say, last time I actually did use Max for Axem Rangers X was Season 18 when the Rangers went to Darude. So basically, the Egyptian backgrounds that you saw in the majority of Axem Rangers X, that was all 3ds Max. And you know what? Even though it was a pain in the neck to create, I did have a lot of fun rendering it and importing them into the scene. So right now, what I'm doing here is I'm actually rendering the Mirror Kingdom of Hell. And the reason why is because, first of all, the Mirror Kingdom is the scene where we're going to see Lord Vindok emerge after many long years. And you know what? We definitely deserve closure between the royal families, because, I mean, a series finale wouldn't be the same without closure of the original characters from the very first season of Axem Rangers X, dubbed Season 0. So, to make sure that that happens, I am going to go into my sprite sheet here, and I'm going to go look for the royal family themselves. So, I am going to be going after... Okay, let's see here. I know the royal family is somewhere. Because one thing I know for sure, they're all in one sprite sheet. So we got... there we go. So here's our original cast of characters. Prince Apophis in blue, Prince Nibiris in orange, Lord Vindok in silver. So, here's how it's going to go down. I am going to actually edit one of these sprites. I'm going to go open up a new paint file. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm actually going to copy the frame here. There we go. Flip, rotate, yes. Next, I'm going to paint off the hand. Because, I mean, what's the point of having another arm here when there's already going to be another one there? So right now the step I'm at is actually cleaning, because if we're going to be doing a scene with Prince Apophis, we might as well clean his entire sprite sheet in order to use him. So there we go, and then the last piece, which is right here. And that ought to do it. Next, we're going to, let's see here, I'm gonna go clean all this up because we really don't need it. I'm gonna take the pencil tool and we're just gonna, you know, polish all of this stuff. And normally polishing would take about, I don't know, a few minutes, give or take, depending on how much editing you really want to do for the sprite. And finally, I'm gonna do a copy. I'm gonna turn this into transparent, and we're gonna just put it there. There we go. Import it there, and there we have it. We have our idol, Lord Vindok. Lord Vindok, we're going to pop him, but we're going to do Control X so we can position him in a new frame. Control S, there we go. We now have our official Lord Vindok character that we're going to be using for the final confrontation between the royal families. So, at the same time, let's take a look at our render, and it's gonna take a while, that's for sure. So at the same time, at least we can, you know, prepare all the stuff that's going to happen. So let's see here. Vindok emerges from the deep sleep to confront the heroes. Apophis mentions his evil brother. Vindok turns to red and informs him of his fiance's location, because in this movie his fiancée got kidnapped, and now Red Ranger has to go back in and save her. And then of course, we go outside, which I already have renders for those. So I'll just pull them out there, so just to show you guys. And here is what the scene does look like from the outside. So photos. Let me just minimize that. There we go. All right. So now you can see everything. So this is 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that should do it. So those are pretty much the outdoor points. There will be more because this is going to be a fight scene in this whole thing. And we'll see what happens next. So Ladies and gentlemen, so this is how it's gonna go down. I just opened up one of the scenes here, and we're gonna be doing the entrance scene for the movie. So basically what I did was I took this frame right here, because first things first, we have to show the red background because we are in the kingdom of hell. So let's go ahead here. The scene is already imported. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click Control V, and there's my comp. So as I said before, I work with comps, so this is the piece I chose for the actual track. Sorry, the frame. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go frame by frame by frame. So I'm going to go 117, and I'm just going to continue doing it until they reach the stairs, in which until then they're gonna have to start getting smaller because, you know, depth of field. So and we are almost there, just one more frame, and there we go. 121. Now we gotta shrink them because obviously they're gonna be going up the stairs. So 122. Shrink them a bit more. There we go. They're going up the stairs. 123. Bit more. 124. And we're going to put one more. And there we go. 125. Alright, so Lord Vindok emerges from the deep sleep, confronts the heroes. So now we actually need to wait for this scene itself to finish rendering. And I normally tend to use 3ds Max regularly when it comes to creating environments. Sometimes I go crazy with Lightwave instead because, I mean, I have the license, I bought it legally, and I already started doing those tutorials from the books. In fact, I actually do have the book of Lightwave as well, and it's been really helpful lately. So let's see here. We're gonna go 16%, so you know what, I think I'm gonna cut the video from there, and we'll continue the render after. Okay, so the rendering has stopped, and we're gonna save this as mirror. I got the mirror in my hand. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist saying that. There we go, and it is saved. Alright, I'm gonna minimize that. And now we have new backgrounds that we can use. For starters, I'm gonna pull up the one that we needed, which is this. So, I'm gonna go into right here. I'm gonna take a bigger piece because we really need a bigger piece. Scale it down. Control X. Undo. Let's find our frame here. There we go. Scale it down to the frame size. Perfect. Next, minimize this. So, Lord Vindok emerges from deep sleep and confronts the heroes. Alright, so this is how it's gonna go down. Instead of making the sprites, I'm just gonna grab the comp. I'm gonna scale them down a bit more. There we go. Control X, Control V. And let's get started with the animations. So 126. Let's bring it a bit more. 127. right here. 128. There. 129. And the final frame. There we go. 13. Alright. Next, we're going to add the effect of a past soldier jumping in. So, I'm going to take my little marker brush, and I'm just going to choose a light blue, and I'm just going to start painting all over the canvas. As Chef Ramsay would say in his cooking videos, make love to the canvas and then bust it. This is perfect. Alright. I'm going to save this as 131. This is the effect. Now I'm going to save this as 132 because now we're going to add the king. So, let's go to where the frame is. And this time I'm going to open with Photoshop Elements 9. Now, the Elements series of Adobe, it really is a powerful tool, to be honest. And if you want the complete control of Photoshop or Premiere, and you basically want both softwares without having to spend like hundreds or thousands of dollars on the actual Creative Cloud, there is a perpetual license available for Premiere Elements as well as Photoshop Elements. In fact, what you're seeing right here is Photoshop Elements. And I got it very cheap, $120. And this applies for Photoshop and Premiere. So basically, you can get either Premiere or Photoshop for $120, or you can get the complete package for $200. So you get both Photoshop and Premiere. And so if you basically have full support for Adobe, you love their products, but you want to stop paying the membership price, get the Elements version. The only downside I will say to the Elements version, you do not get third-party support. So all those third-party plugins, yeah, good luck with that. They're not going to work with the Elements series. But you get the full functionality of Photoshop and Premiere Pro with the Premiere Elements and Photoshop Elements. And like I said, you have the choice. You could get Photoshop or Premiere separately, or you could get the complete bundle. And so let's go into our king, Lord Vindoc. I'm gonna go Control C. Wait, whoops, nope. I said Control C, Control V. There we go. So there we go. We have our king, Vindoc. First things first, we're gonna scale him. And there we go. Now, first things first, let's get rid of this background. I'll take the wand, and there we go. But that's not all. I'm going to change the opacity. Now, normally for Ghost, I would change the opacity to 70. And with that should do it, actually. Let's save this, overwrite the frame, because we know which frame it is, and then we're going to add some speech. So, let us minimize that. Let's get out of here. Open this guy up. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. So, let's create a solid right here. I'm going to make it into that. There we go. The next thing I'm going to do is find our royal gods. There we go. I'm going to take his face and just do that. In fact, you know what? Actually, yeah, I'll do it for all of them. Because, you know, it's always best to have all of them rather than some. So, overwrite, and we're good to go. Alright. Let's take the king, put him in the frame, or at least his head in the frame, because we know he's going to talk next. and we're gonna write down his line. So Prince Apophis, how dare you awaken from your eternal sleep? What business? No. What gives you the right to awaken from your dark slumber? Alright. There we go. Adjustments. There we go. 1, 3, 4. And then Apophis is gonna speak. Put him in white. Take Apophis' sprites. There we go. I have the head. And that should do it. Alright. Apophis, I'm gonna put his color in gold. And was summoned by Little Void Ranger Ascension to return one, 3, 5. Against my evil twin, Nibiris. Let's go back to the king. Wait a minute. Did you say Nibiris? And answer, yes he did. Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So, now we're gonna start the conversation. This, I'm gonna bring it back to default because we now have separate pieces of dialogue. So we're gonna basically build up as the scene continues. So the next piece of the scene is Apophis mentions his brother's evil works, tries to reason with his father. Vindok turns to Red and informs him of his fiance's location, and of course Red Ranger gets angry. So Lord Nibiris is back. To harm porters of eight porters of the Rangers need my help to destroy him. There we go. And for those of you wondering, all of this is happening in real time, so I'm actually doing a scene from the actual movie as this video comes out. So Ascension and the Rangers need my help to destroy him. Let's go to Vindok. So, these must be the legendary Axem Rangers of the Ascension. You have gone through great lengths to find me. And with that, I would like to ask you for a big favor, Rangers. I'll keep it as a period. 142. And now we're gonna put red. So we're gonna take his background color red. We're gonna go to his sprite sheet, Control C, and we're gonna make it a transparent selection. Now because his head is big, we have to scale it down to match the bubble, and that should do it. What kind of favor do you have in mind? Classic Red Ranger voice. 143. That should do it. Let's go back to Lord Vindok. Kill Lord Nibiruss. He is no son of mine. After what he did to me. Perfect. 144. And there we have it. Kill Lord Nibiruss. He is no son of mine after what he did to me. So red accepts under a very strict condition. Red wants to know where's his fiance being held. I would love to accept your favor under one condition. I accept your favor under one condition. I need to know. And Red's gonna ask where his fiance is. Where is my little Princess Saturn? And now, we're gonna do something completely different. An intruder has just approached. So, we're gonna take some black text, and we're gonna put... let's see, what can we put that would be good for police? Rangers of Ascension. This is the XRA Supreme Council. Open this door. So now you know there's gonna be a fight. And then we're gonna have Lord Vindoc, but this time we're gonna put him in full screen. There we go. And he's gonna say the actual location. So Castle Nibarus, rooftop, on the 10th floor. Get to work quick before it's too late. The enemy approaches. That ought to do it. Alright, so good news is that the conversation is now officially over between Lord Vindoc and the Axem Rangers. So now, we actually get to go to a fight scene, which we already have time to do. So, let's get started. I'm gonna go pick up a background here, one of my renders. Let me see if I can find a good one. And I think we're gonna go with this guy right here. So, we're gonna take this frame, Control C. I'm gonna bring it into here, and there we go. So, the way this battle is going to work, we're going to have about, I would say, 8 Rangers. So basically, we're gonna have 8 versus 8. Well, not really 8 versus 8, more like 8 versus 18, give or take a few. The reason being is because I'm going to be doing 2 security rangers versus 1. So, we're going to see what we can do here. So, the first character we're going to take is... let's see. We've actually never done the opposite, so let's go ahead and let's go pink first. So, going to go to... Actually, you know what? Let's start with the enemies here. Take a man with the gun. Alright. 1, 5, 3. So this is it. This is the battle scene. One, 5, 4. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a comp. Much better. Does it match that? Yes, it does. So, instead of... Let's actually restart the whole thing over again. Let's see where we left off. It was right here, 155. Oops. $155. 156, yes. 157. And now this is the scene where the enemy rangers are gonna basically be destroyed. So I'll take this guy, rotate. This is perfect proportion, and there we go. Alright, now we need to determine what kills them and by whom. In this case, we're gonna go Pink Ranger, because we've never done opposites before. It was always, every battle we've done in the past has always been Red Ranger first. So we're gonna do Pink first. And she's a bit too big. There we go. Now she's proportional. 153. 154. 155. Now she's in the frame. 156. 157. Okay, this is where she attacks. So let's take this one. That ought to do it. This is 150. Whoops. 158. Let me just pull out 157. And we're good to go. Perfect. Alright, next we're going to move on to yellow. But we're going to need to look at our frames that we have at the moment. So, we've done this piece. So now, 'tis only fair. You know what? Let's do the rooftop. We need to do a rooftop shot. So for the rooftop shot, actually, we're going to do the Rangers attacking, and we're going to do two at the same time. So, we're going to do one, rotate, and two. Now these guys are surrounded, so expect them to have a terrible ending. So here we go. Yellow. I'll give him the classic hammer. And funny thing you guys should know, I'm actually thinking about making an Axem Ranger called Jackhammer. And there we go. So now the next frame, of course, they get injured. That should do it. Yellow goes for the hammer. 1, 6, 3. Doesn't look good though. Let's see if it looks good with the frame. Boom. There we go. Much better. But it's not done yet, because now we need to duplicate these because we're adding another ranger. Remember what I said? We're doing 2 at the same time. So let's go green. And now let's follow the order. But green, however, is going to come from the side, not from the air. Save. This is 1. 2. 3. And then we need the attack. And the attack will be this. Actually, no, the attack will be this, because we've never seen this one before. Nope. There we go. Boom. Pink, yellow, green. So that means black and void. Red's gonna be later. So now we need a new background for this. Maybe we can use this piece right here. Gonna scale it down because it's always nice to show the full detail of these shots. Now this one, I'm gonna do something completely different. These guys are gonna actually charge before they can. They're gonna charge their weapons before they can actually get scared. And yes, I do intend to put big eyes on these two. 1, 6, 4. Once again, I'm gonna go for a comp. I'm gonna take Black Ranger, have him with the axe. Control C. There we go. Next, I'm gonna take Little Void with his own axe. This is the Cold Pipe Bomb magic wand. And it's Void's weapon of choice until he gets his upgrade, so 1, 6, 5. So they're gonna charge at around now. So that means get them with the gun. 1 and 2. Bring back the comp. One, 6, 8. And now we're gonna give them the big eyes, otherwise known as the classic airbag eyes. And for those of you that don't know, the airbag sound effect that is used in Axem Ranger's X, it comes from Jim Carrey's Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And yes, it is the Jim Carrey adaptation. When Jim Carrey in one of the scenes was testing his sleigh for crash prevention, he says, "Airbag, you little slow," and then of course the airbag. That's what he says it for. And then of course the song, the famous song, "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," actually continues. So I have to admit, it's not as good as the original, but it is freaking hilarious. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the greatest sickness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grange. Given the choice between you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. There we go. And sorry about that, I accidentally opened up my sonar. This should do it. 170. Alright. Next. So we did pink, yellow, green, black, void. Next is Apophis. So, for Apophis, I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need it anymore. We're going to go for... No, we're going to go for this one. This is nice. I'm going to take all of that, scale it down, close it because now I'm not going to need it. And there we go. But, no. So it is a new frame. Alright, perfect. Okay, so, gonna go to Apophis, the angel. Now, for this scene, I'm gonna have Lord Apophis surrounded. Now, before I did the enemies that were surrounded, now I'm gonna do the hero being surrounded. So, and their guns are already gonna be drawn, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a comp of these guys, but I'm gonna do a double comp. So, I'm gonna do 1, rotate, and 2. 171. Off the go. And then number 2. And now he's gonna unleash the solar beam of death. So these guys are gonna stay as they are. Apophis is gonna go in for the attack. I'm gonna jump in the air. 174 and solar beam every enemy in sight with his own bare hands. Starman, there we go, there's our solar beam. And we're gonna go 1 and 2. So there we have it. 175. Perfecto. Alright. Next is going to be something very interesting because this is going to be the introduction of a new character. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to let's take a look here. I'm not going to need this. I'm definitely going to be needing that. This we've already used, so I'm not going to be needing it. This, we might need it later. I thought I said not to use this. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. Actually, you know what? Let's use this one now. So actually we'll use the side roof, like right here. That should do it. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to bring back a character. We're going to bring back White. So we're going to have Red Ranger injured here. They got their guns drawn. 3 of them. 2, 3. And what these guys are going to first do is basically solar beam. And there's 3 of them, so 1 solar beam each. Make it big. There we go. 2 and 3. So red definitely took half the damage. And now we're going to have White Ranger go in for the kill. So yeah, Red Ranger's childhood friend finally returns. And the funny thing is, he's going to take them on from above. So, first thing he needs to do, 182, he's actually going to 183 and lay carnage. Boom, there we go. And the best sprite to go with this, and we've never seen this kind of sprite before in the Axem Rangers X series, this guy. Nope. Actually, you know what? I think I might have wasted a bit of, yeah, let's put it 183. I think I wasted 1 extra frame, so that should do it. So now, let's see here. White Ranger gets injured, and a huge Ranger is blocking the path. So, first things first, White Ranger has to get Red up his feet. So, there we go. He then runs to Red Ranger, 184. And let me do this. Wait. Control C. There we go. Red is back on his feet, but he's injured. And they're just going to have a very quick conversation before they head to their final destination. So, and for those letting you know, Vent Light, also known as Blake and Alex 12, he does the voice for White Ranger as well as Onyx. So, put the speech bubble, put White Ranger's face and head, and we'll give them quick dialogue. Actually, you know what? Yeah. We'll call that as a separate comp. Actually, you know what? Let's give it some speech first, so. Greetings, Red. How are you, my good friend? I thought I could lend a helping hand. Put this as 87 because we're gonna have Red Ranger talk first. Thought I could lend a helping hand. What say you? And yes, in case you're wondering, I do watch a lot of British movies like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. So yeah, that's where I get my vocabulary from, actually. And it's really fascinating, to be honest. Because just not only the vocabulary, but the grammar that is associated with. Alright. So, have Red Ranger speech bubble first. Wait, Ranger, is that you? What the tar are you doing here? $186. Okay, now we're caught up. Let's continue. Alright. With that done, we now head on to our final frame, which is the fight scene with the new Ranger. So first things first, we're going to change the color to black, at least so that we can see the border. And that ought to do it. So bring it up. There we go. Let's meet our new character, Cryo, created by Red Hand himself. And he's basically going to be blocking the path to make sure the Rangers never get out. So what we're going to do is going to create a comp. And by the way, the enemy Rangers, we do not need them anymore. So let's get started, shall we? I'm gonna go for... Okay, I can close this. I don't need that. I certainly as hell don't need that, so... here we go. Let's go to the comp. Let's get rid of the comps that we don't need anymore. And let's make a new one. So we're gonna put in this guy. Less, there we go, that's good. And we're gonna take Red Ranger. Classic Red Ranger with the angry face. Actually, no. No. He's been dashing too much. Let's have him back on the ground. Yeah, let's have him back on the ground. It's better that way. Does it match the face? Yes, it does. Alright, so there we go. There's our new comp. And here we go. Maybe adjust it a bit. Much better. Alright. So I'm gonna go 191. Actually, you know what? Let's do it now so that we don't have to do it later. So he's gonna confront them. So here we go. The duel begins. Right. Halt! Who goes there? Is basically what this new character is gonna say. Cryo. X R A. Take his head. Put it for the speech bubble. Control C, Control S so that we save it. And let's go. Smaller. A little smaller. There we go. Halt. Who goes there? We're gonna keep the red because we need Red Ranger to speak next. Captain of the Ascension, and this is White Ranger. We're friends of Vindok, and we're asking you to step aside so we can be on our way. None shall pass. Unless you wish to surrender yourselves to XRA. Of course, White Ranger gets pissed, calls him a filth. In which, of course, gets injured. To reward you. That ought to do it. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're just in time for the big fight scene. So, let us begin. We got Red versus Cryo. Obviously, White Ranger just got injured. So, now we're gonna do the battle here. So red's gonna dash and attack, but no effect, obviously. One. It's actually a hilarious battle, to be honest with you. Bag. What else do we have here? Let's put him in a submission move. Just like the old battle shows. And of course, again, the big eyes. And now, the big one. He's gonna stomp him. There we go. And the next scene will be Cryo running over red. Let's add a bit of airbrush to show damage to his face. That ought to do it. And then what's the next scene? Come on. Okay, so apparently next scene is Red Ranger finally gets a hit on this guy. So, body slam. I'll take that. That should do it. Boom. So he just body slammed him. Perfect. Boom. And then he pounds on him and chokes him. So let's take this. Two, three, two. Horizontal, and we put him in the submission move. Now, submission move in Axem Ranges X, basically, you have one choice in a submission move. You could either tap out or break a piece of your body. And you tap out, it's humiliation. You break a piece of your body, it's damaging. So right now, there we go. Cryo is in a submission move. He's choking Red Ranger with his steamroller. And let's see, what other things can we do to... Because right now we have to end... I think I know what to do. Maybe if we put him... Maybe if we do one more body slam. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 5. And then, because this is the final body slam, Red can finally solar beam. There we go. 2, 3, 6, and finally Starman. I'll close this, and that should do it. And now we need a pool of blood, because it is death. So take 1, 2, and even his machinery needs bio components. So there we go. Maybe like one there, that should do it. And finally one to the head. There. Two, 3, 8. Zoom in on Red. Let's zoom in on Red. And zoom in on the dead body. Non-transparent, there we go. 240. And finally, for the last scene, gonna take only this piece right here, and we're just gonna do a quick moment here. So we could get rid of cryo. Let's adjust the comp. Okay, so I'm gonna need black. Gonna need green. Next I'm gonna need yellow. And then pink. And lastly, void. The little boy. The smallest angel of ARX. And there we go. This is our final comp of the scene. But before all of this, let's do some compositing. First thing we need is we need this guy, and this guy. Let's open these frames up because we need to add White Ranger still lying on the floor. Like right there. There we go. Again. And the last one, which is this. So for this, I'm going to take a small portion. Actually, on second thought, we're just going to leave it as it is. It doesn't matter. Don't save. There we go. Alright, let's go back to the actual frame. But because it's a zoom, we can pretty much make Red Ranger bigger now, so. Nah, it doesn't look that good. Let's take another red. Make him a bit bigger. That should do it. A bit less. There we go. Let's take white. Injured white. Put him in the comp. And there we go. So we're going to do 2 reds because we need one with him holding white, and then we need one without him. That should do it. Let's take white first. Remove transparency. Bring back the comp. Red. $241. Red runs to white. $242. $243, and the comp. Have Red Ranger flip as his friends arrive. Let's quickly do that edit. And that should do it. So, Red Ranger says his line. There we go, and we'll let Red Ranger say his speech. Go. Come on, Rangers, we have to get out of here. It's not safe for us anymore. Yeah, I see a little typo, though. Alright, there we go. And then we're gonna have, let's have Bank Ranger say it. All right, Red. And finally, Red Ranger says the final line, and that's the end of the scene. And we'll do a big Red Ranger frame. I don't care where we go. I don't care. Anywhere is safer than here. Let's get out of this hellhole. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the scene, actually. So, we pretty much finished part 4 of the whole thing. So we basically finished part 4 live in real time. And you know what? That is definitely an accomplishment, to be honest. And with that being said, we are now 1, 2. We are actually 3 parts away from the final battle, actually. So I guess there's only one way to end this, shall we? I am going to close this. I'm gonna go for a speed. Gonna get a speed thing. There we go. I'm gonna now go image. Change this to gray. I'm gonna get this guy, and yeah, I'm actually doing this as fast as possible. Let's go here, transparent. This is by far the best way to end the scene. Distant galaxy. Some later, somewhere And with that, ladies and gentlemen, 252. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the scene of the Axem Rangers X movie. So, only one thing left to do. I just gotta reposition this a little more. And let's do that. Later, somewhere nearby, save. So it's official. We finished part 4. And now we are moving on to the next scene, which I will not be doing live. In fact, this is gonna be the only video that I do live of Axem Rangers X. And yeah, as you can see from the window, I have done a lot of frames. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys